What exactly is a female dog?
It's called a bitch, is the term.
A what?
The terminology is a bitch.
That's the Bulldog's new manager!
It's bad enough that you gotta take orders from a dog. What? But you gotta take orders from a bitch.
Thank you for watching the Bell to Bell with Bobby Blaze YouTube channel. Super kick the like button. Let it rip in the comments. And give that subscribe button a hard punch.
The Hart Foundation, probably best in-ring storytellers of all time.
I thought we had great matches with those guys. And that was a good chemistry. Bret could really... he was more of the worker and he could fly around and do all that, and Jim was kind of the stronger guy. So you could get the sympathy on Bret, and Jim was big enough and strong enough and mean enough. Yeah. He could throw us around and bump us and everything, and the people would really believe it. Their matches were competitive and believable, and I agree with that. And I think we had them on rivalries too, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not that we're not familiar with the Hart Foundation, because we really like the Hart Foundation. I know you especially like them. I think that's about the time you started really liking them or watching, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, when they were coming through their championship reign and everything, that is about the time I started watching wrestling regularly.
Yeah,
and they were, when they were a heel team, and we cheer the heels around here. I mean, come on.
What is this? I knew you when you used to be a nice guy.
This is a little cute flower. That's right.
Isn't he real than you?
Yeah. You know what I was told a long time ago?
What were you told?
Nice to be a nice guy. But I'll tell you something. Nice guys finish last, and I'm not a nice guy anymore. Jim will vouch for that, and he's not a nice guy anymore.
Well, let me tell you,
we're with the Hart Foundation, and if there is one thing that Jimmy Hart always tells us to do, is that one thing is that we always have fun.
Yeah.
So you say we're not nice guys. Well, I say you're wrong, chump. You and your pretty little rose and your fancy little suit.
Watch out.
Hey, we're always the nice guys. So don't tell us that we are nice guys.
People get out of here. Get out. While you change, you stink.
Don't tell us that we are nice guys.
Get out.
That we've always been nice.
They were amazing in the ring. More importantly, they were amazing in the ring together.
Great. Bret Hart's great. Jim the Anvil was great. It was great chemistry.
They worked like a true tag team, which is a lost art almost these days.
Part of the reason why tag teams are out of prominence now is because the WWE is the industry leader, and they don't choose to feature tag teams in a main event position. And I don't know why, because in the days of the WWF, Vince McMahon Sr.'s promotion in the Northeast, tag teams ruled Madison Square Garden. Argentina Rocca and Miguel Perez, the Fabulous Fargos, Dr. Jerry and Eddie Graham, the Golden Grahams, all the way through the Valiant Brothers, the Tanaka and Fuji, the Blackjacks. So many great tag teams over the years sold out at Madison Square Garden, were in feature matches, but Vince likes to make individual stars, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I think that tag teams add a lot more variety to the card. The fans are interested in them, or used to be when they were featured prominently.
I think they're trying to make a comeback. I'm not saying they're going to be on every week on a damn WWE or whatever. Mm-hmm. I just think there's going to be more and more tag teams out there on the independent scene. I know a couple of, I know several teams that travel around and work exclusively as tag teams, and we'll see. It depends on what you like. Yeah. But anyway, the Hart Foundation, man, again, it was one of the greatest tag teams in history of tag team wrestling, man, no doubt about it. Of course, they had their manager Jimmy Hart out there, leading them around. And again, it's one of those things where that in itself was probably a good fit. First of all, the name coming together, but also, not digging on anyone's interview style, having seen Jim the Anvil Neidhart, having talked to him, knowing how intense he would get.
And if I got a personal issue that I've got to take care of personally, That's fine with me too.
Just through the years, you watch, Bret's interviews.
My dad was a Canadian amateur wrestling champion. I wrestled amateur throughout my life.
You got Jimmy Hart out there being your mouthpiece. That just solidifies the entire foundation.
Greatest team in the history of professional wrestling today. I guess you can say we are the in crowd.
They got the ring work that goes with that. It's just that 1-2 punch, or in this case 1-2-3 punch. It can't be beat. You know what I'm saying? They deserve to go right to the top like they did, and have a good run like they did. A really, really good tag team there, man. The Hart Foundation. Very solid.
Oh, absolutely.
Coming at number 7. They could have easily been in the top 5.
You know, it was a long time before I could accept Hitman as a solo wrestler because of the Hart Foundation. I'm like, but you were such a great tag team. Why are you? Oh, I see. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think a lot of people did that. Of course, Bret did come into his own, but I think a lot of people like, I missed the Hart Foundation. I missed Bret, as a tag team. But yeah, he came into his own, of course. But I know what you're saying with that, man.
Yep.
Anyway.
It was a pretty rotten, crummy feeling. It's a really rotten feeling, and it hurts. With the excellence of execution.
Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update.